Conserve what our children deserve. This week's episode, we bring up a special issue in conjunction with 7 March, marking the third year after the Kim River was severely polluted in 2019 due to the release of toxic waste in the state of Johor. Not only became the headline of the media, but also attracted the attention of the whole country. Before that, let's replay a bit of the news as the incident unfolded.
Hello and Assalamualaikum. You are now watching IIUM News. I am Fatima reporting on the Kim River toxic events. News making the headlines. Kim River of Southern Johor is polluted. On 7 March 2019, thousands of Malaysians fell sick after being exposed to different chemicals that illegally dumped into the Kim River located in Pasir Gudang, Johor, South Malaysia. According to an investigation incident, local authorities estimated that around 20 to 40 tons of oil waste were illegally dumped into parts of the Kim River, as stated by the Environmental Justice Atlas. In addition, the waste might have come from marine engineering or petrochemical factories in Johor. The contamination has sickened more than 5,000 people, including hundreds of students and children affected. As an outcome of this pollution, the Education Ministry ordered the indefinite closure of around 111 schools in Pasir Gudang. It is known that people have been exposed mostly to inhalation of the toxic fumes. Residents near the river, including students, suffer breathing difficulties, nausea, and fainting. Now, I have received a signal from my colleague, Sarah Afifah, live at the scene.
Assalamualaikum and good morning. I am Sarah Afifah reporting from IIUM News. I am here live at the neighborhood near the scene of Kim River. Together with me, Ms. Zalia, the witness who discovered this incident. Ms. Zalia, could you explain how you find out about this problem?
On the night before this incident happened, I smelled a very strong odor from this river, as my house is just 500 meters away from it. So, in the morning, I searched around my house as I thought it was from dead animals. But after searching, I found nothing. Then I went to the nearby river to find the source of the bad smell. To my surprise, the river turned black. I had difficulty breathing after being exposed to the air for a while, and some of the residents also complained about the bad smell, and they also experienced dizziness, nausea, and vomiting.
I see. Thank you so much, Ms. Zalia. That is all from me. We're back with Fatima at IIUM News Studio.
Thank you, Sarah. During yesterday's conference with YB Shahira, it was reported that suspects have been arrested for further investigations.
On 7th of March, it was reported that a very strong chemical odor had been detected in Pasir Putih's primary and secondary schools. Schools residents experienced symptoms of nausea, vomiting, and some fainted. The Special Team for Hazardous Materials Management, or known as HAZMAT, and firefighters confirmed it was due to gas leak since the location of the schools are near the industrial area. Premises evacuation instructions were issued on the same day. In the following 3 days, which are 8th, 9th, and 10th of March, total of victims treated increased to 82 people. On 11th of March, 3 men, including 2 factory owners, were arrested on suspicion of dumping chemical waste into the Kim River. The second wave was detected when the same school reported a case of dizziness and fainting students before being ordered home. The District Disaster Relief Management Committee and Johor State Education Department decided to close the 2 schools until further notice. On 12th of March, Tanjung Puteri Resort primary and secondary school students began to be affected with reports of students vomiting as well as fainting. So I will try my best to overcome this issue as soon as possible, as the children's health are at the highest risk. It is believed that the disposal of toxic waste into Kim River occurred. So the toxic waste evaporate in the morning, affecting the nearby school while the children were in the classroom.
All Malaysians certainly expect the best to address this issue. Now let's hear the voice of a community representative regarding this matter. I will pass to Sarah.
Now, I am with Madam Izzati, one of the teachers here in SMK Pasir Gudang. What do you think about this incident?
I think the chemical pollution is caused by the illegal dumping of toxic substances into the Kim River, and this situation occurs probably due to no proper waste management and no one is monitoring the chemical disposal process.
And what is your concern towards this matter, madam?
My concern towards this problem is we are living in an industrial area, so we know the risk, but we hope the factories or the authorities will not look at this pollution as an important matter. It's really disappointing to see this chemical pollution occur because it can give negative impacts towards residents nearby, including the students. And it can be seen that some of the residents or neighbors remain fearful because what had happened could happen again unless something is done by the authorities, especially when the chemical substances are not fully cleaned from this river.
Residents around the Kim Kim River were indeed badly affected by this incident. Some of them moved out and hundreds were hospitalized, requiring treatment for breathing difficulties. Among them are still traumatized and continue to suffer.
3 years ago, Raja Siti Shazana, a student from SMK Parsi Gudang, was one of many that was severely affected. She suffered myokemia due to the alleged toxic waste from Kim Kim River. Myokemia is an involuntary or spontaneous quivering of muscles, where in some cases, the condition can be painful and debilitating. Till this day, she is still traumatized with what had happened to her.
During that day, I smelled something like burnt rubber. It was worse than that. The smell got stuck in my throat. I cannot talk and started to have blurry vision. My head was very dizzy and I collapsed. I cannot do anything. I cannot move my hands, my legs. I can only hear sounds and voices. I heard students screaming, complaining of sore throats and burning eyes. I felt very scared at that moment.
My husband and I could not enter the emergency room that day. It was in total chaos full of patients. My daughter was the 200th patient in the hospital on that day. We waited and waited, still there were no updates on her condition. Around 4 p.m. on the same day, the healthcare told us that she's being warded. She was being warded in the red zone. My heart cracked into pieces knowing that she's in fear and pain, and she had to go through all of this alone.
First day when I was in the hospital, I could not feel my leg, so when I walk, I fall. Few days after I was discharged, I started to depend on walking stick until this day. It helped me a lot since I can't walk properly. I got a lot of questions from my peers regarding my legs. Answering them made me feel so small, scared, and sad. To be honest, I am still traumatized from the incident, to the extent tremble and had episodes of anxiety attack, thinking it would happen again. I did not talk much and bottle up my feelings. Now I can only spend a few minutes on my feet before the place becomes unbearable. Other than that, I also have tremor and sleep difficulty. Sometimes I wish I could be a normal person like how I used to be.
After the incident, Shazana was scheduled for a few physiotherapy sessions to treat the tremor and also a few counseling sessions to treat her trauma. She was diagnosed with myokemia, and after that she was referred to the pediatric institute HKL for further treatment. Currently, she is prescribed with Epilim, mainly to treat epilepsy or seizures, because there were no other cases like this that have happened before in Malaysia, and also they do not have any specific medications to treat a child's condition.
What has been done by the authorities to prevent such an incident from unfolding again? What were their further actions on the river after the incident? We have YB Shahira to explain.
Following the incident, on 14th of March 2019, Sultan of Johor donated 1 million ringgit to intensify rescue operations, treat and prevent chemical pollution in Pasir Gudang. At that time, the results of the analysis of samples taken by the Department of Environment from the Kim Kim River showed contamination with 8 harmful chemical compounds, including methane, hydrogen chloride, acrylonitrile, acrolein, benzene, toluene, xylene, and limonene. On the same day, the Ministry of Energy, Science, Technology, Environment and Climate Change sought military assistance. Petronas also provided machinery tools and experts to help deal with the crisis. The Chemical, Radiology and Nuclear Biology Civilian Team and the Malaysian Armed Forces Unit Victim Evacuation Team have been deployed to the affected areas to detect, identify and dispose of chemical waste. And finally, on 19th of March 2019, the Ministry of Energy, Science, Technology, Environment and Climate Change has confirmed 1.5 km of the Kim Kim River, which has been contaminated with chemical waste since March of 7, is safe. A total of 1,500 tons of river water, 900 tons of sewage sludge with hazardous chemical waste were disposed of from the river. On 22 February 2020, Pasir Gudang is the first industrial city in the country to be equipped with a surveillance system that provides real air quality readings worth 6.9 million ringgit, which gives early warning in the event of a pollution incident. It has been installed at 25 photo ionization detector (PID) stations in 25 different locations, including schools and designated areas around the Pasir Gudang. In addition, 6 units of Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy (FTIR) and 2 units of gas chromatography mass spectroscopy (GCMS) and gas chromatography flame ionization detector (GCFID), which started operating in January 2020, were also installed to monitor air quality at all times. On 25th of April 2020, Kim Kim River was reported to be clear and recovered after more than a month of MCO being enforced. The next survey was on 27th of October 2020, and noticed life began to be found again in the Kim Kim River.
Tragedy of the Kim Kim River will remain in memory. There are many lessons we can take from the incident. Before we end, let's watch a brief illustration of toxic waste awareness.